Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Wendy, I'm home.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Go to hell and take your friends with you!
Carbon Day! Huh? No!
Get off my plane. Remember Sally when I promised to kill you last?
That's what made you did!
I lied.
Hello and welcome back to our neglected podcast, Movies to Drink To. We are carrying on. What was it we did last? Under Siege. So naturally, we are now doing Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Yes.
From 1995, directed by Jeff Murphy.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. From the pub. You know Jeff?
Yeah. Jeff Murphy.
Yeah, Jeff Murphy. Yeah, that guy. It stars, again, Steven Seagal as Casey Ryback. Oh, yeah. Eric Bogerson. Uncut Gems.
Yes.
Yes, he's really good in Uncut Gems. Not so much this, but...
He used to be he's one of those people, he always reminds me of Elliot Gould a little bit.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, he's one of those people who was in quite a lot of stuff, but I don't think has ever been, like, huge.
You sort of recognise him.
Yeah,
like,
he's one of those
what's
faces.
that guy from? Yeah, and you don't really know his name. Usually comedic roles, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Everett McGill from Twin Peaks and Silver Bullet. Very underrated werewolf movie. Katherine Heigl. Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
Yeah. She's had a bit of a comeback recently with a TV show or whatever, but yeah, she kind of dropped off the scene a little bit.
There was some bad press around her after Knocked Up, wasn't there?
That's it, yeah. She made some comments which, like, in hindsight, weren't that bad. But yeah, she got a difficult label.
Yes. Morris Chestnut, Patrick Kilpatrick, great name, and Peter Green. Peter Green is the bad guy from The Mask.
Oh.
Which came out the year before this.
Oh.
Oh, yes. So, anyway, the plot of this film, beeth...
Casey Ryback hops on a Colorado to LA train for some reason to start a vacation with his niece for that reason. Early into the trip, terrorists board the train and use it as a mobile HQ to hijack a top-secret, destructive US satellite.
Die Hard on a train.
Yeah, basically.
So we had Die Hard on a boat, now we've got Die Hard on a train.
Correct.
Yes, brilliant. Okay, so let's begin. It starts with the same stupid military music as the first one, and we have a shot of a space shuttle taking off. Unfortunately, it isn't heading for the sun with Steven Seagal on board.
I feel like this opening scene promises too much.
It's quite Moonraker-ish.
Yeah, very Moonraker-ish.
Yes.
And it's like this huge like satellite thing.
The shuttle is launching a satellite into space.
Yeah. It's almost like it's promising Under Siege in space.
Yes.
Which I'd give
Outer
a chance.
Siege.
Outer Siege.
Back down on Earth at NASA, but not NASA, we meet Clarence Bodiger from RoboCop, who is an army general guy.
Yeah, and instantly I was like, definitely the bad guy.
Yeah, it's Clarence Bodiger, for crying out loud. Yeah, he's playing an army general of some sort. And Tom Breaker is there. Do you remember Tom Breaker? Tom Breaker was from the first movie. And Tom Breaker is the CIA guy who's basically responsible for all of the events of the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just, like, it feels like, because in the first movie it feels like a subplot that was never really kind of thought through. And they're like, oh, this guy's definitely shady. And then he just goes home.
Yeah. And apparently he did not lose his job.
No.
Because he still works there.
Yeah. He's like, he smokes cigarettes like he's never smoked a cigarette in his life. He's like...
They're in the control room, and they're entering codes and doing secret army stuff. Yeah. They basically activate this satellite and then use it to spy on a naked woman.
Yeah, they literally, in the first 5 minutes of this film, we're just looking at tits.
Yeah.
And they're like, and this guy's like, gonna zoom in on them and everything. And then, like, this huge military, operation that's clearly cost billions.
Yeah, the first thing they do is look at tits.
Yeah. And nobody at any point goes, well, you're fired.
Bad guy from RoboCop mentions that a man called Travis Dane, who apparently is the guy that designed this satellite, probably not for the purposes of voyeurism, but hey-ho. And the satellite is clearly going to be used as some kind of weapon or weapons guidance system. And I'm betting that Travis Dane is going to make an appearance at some point, probably not happy that the government has stolen his idea. or some shit. Just saying.
Oh yeah,
It's just
all of the exposition
it's quite predictable.
blatantly points that way. Yeah. Oh, he's definitely dead. You know, like it's like a really forced conversation. Travis Dane, that maniac.
Yeah,
Like,
he was a nut.
Yeah, and then there was that car crash.
Yeah, they never found the body though, just the car.
Yeah, that's how people talk.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. Yeah, and really just obvious as to what's going to happen. NASA, apparently, though, they think that this satellite is just a glorified weather station because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid NASA. Don't know what's going on at all, do they? No, there's absolutely no way. And after every, so they've tested the satellite, right? And everyone has left. And after they've all gone, Tom Breaker decides to hit on the only female employee there. She's a captain, or she's one of the captains.
Yeah.
So you've got captains and generals and army people running this thing, right? We then cut over to an American city, I guess Denver.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. There is a chef waiting for Steven Seagal, and when he eventually arrives, the music swells like it's the fucking resurrection of Christ.
Yeah,
It's very
he's literally
like,
turning up
"Here
to
I
work. Yeah. And they even do like he gets out the car and they do like a close up on his face.
Yeah.
And then some other guy gets out and they salute each other. He's just turning up to work. And then
It's like you think this would be like at the end after he saved the day. It's like, no, just showing up to work late.
Yeah. He's late, and the guy goes, "Oh, I know you can't tell me what you've been doing." Like it's like he's this chef, but he goes off on secret missions.
Yeah. Basically, he is late for work because he's been doing some secret army stuff, and we learn that Steven Seagal's brother, who we never knew existed, is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
That brother that he talked about all the time.
This could be a huge emotional linchpin for this whole film. It isn't.
No. He just mentions his brother's died.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal is taking a train to California, which leaves in 45 minutes. Why is he gone to work then?
Yeah. Yeah, and he literally turns up and just walks through the restaurant and then leaves.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, I'm late. Anyway, I have to go in 20 minutes.
What time was he due in?
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Yeah, there's this whole thing, the chef's like, they don't come to see me, they come to see you, and
yeah, because I think Steven Seagal owns this restaurant.
Yeah.
And he's like a celebrity.
Since the first film.
Yeah, I guess. But also goes off on secret covert missions. Even though he's famous.
It's weird. I mean, obviously there's such a thing as celebrity chefs and all of that, but the whole you're late but you're leaving thing is just weird.
Yeah. So he's going to California via train with his niece, who is the daughter of the dead brother, who is played by Katherine Heigl, right? He doesn't, when he goes to the train station to meet her, he hasn't seen her, he says, I haven't seen her in years. It's been like 5 years. And he doesn't recognize her.
No.
And when he does, he's like, you've grown up.
Yeah.
You've got tits now. 4.
You got big.
You got big. In the chest. And he does the usual being awful at playing dad and trying to relate to someone he still thinks is a kid. He gives her a teddy bear.
He buys her a teddy bear.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, she's just like, really, like, come on.
Yeah.
You could have just guessed that I'm not into teddy bears anymore because I'm a teenager now.
She's like 25.
All right, they board the train and there's some guy there who instantly starts hitting on his niece. This is Bobby. He works on the train. More from him later. He's a porter.
Oh, Morris Chestnut.
Yeah, Morris Chestnut, yeah. And then some shifty-looking guy gets on the train and the music turns all sinister. This is Peter Green,
right?
Who is quite sinister and shifty-looking.
See the tall guy with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, he reminds me of Gunther from Friends. Did you see the guy who owns, like, Central Perk? Only the hair. But once I had that thought, it was Gunther for the rest of the film.
Wait, you're not thinking of Everett McGill with the short blonde hair?
He's like the tall bloke. He's like the main
No,
thug.
that's Everett McGill.
That's Everett McGill. That's who I'm thinking
Peter
of.
Green's the one with like the slick back blonde hair.
Oh, yes, Peter Green.
Yes,
Yeah, I know Peter Green.
So, the train has left the station. Also, 2 of the captains from the NASA place earlier, they're on the train, right?
Yeah.
One guy and one woman. So, it's the female and the male captain. They're on the train and they're banging. They've got a private compartment.
Yeah,
what do you call it? A compartment? A cabin? I don't know.
She's shown
We don't have this on British trains. It's literally just a seat. There you go.
Yeah. She's shown to be like this quite strong woman who turns like fucking Tom Baker down.
Yeah.
Like, and then like she's not gonna be that woman. She's not gonna be used. And then instantly she's banging some dude on the train.
Yeah.
Like, why is everybody on the train? Well, like, at what point was the train this popular as a method of transport?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know, like in America, you do have like the Amtrak.
Yeah.
Which are these kind of like double-decker trains.
It's kind of a holiday in itself, that sort of thing. You don't like. I mean, if you're going to a funeral on the other side of the country, or whatever,
he does say that obviously the niece won't fly because apparently the dad and the mum died in a plane crash.
Oh, I missed that bit.
They explain that bit away. Why everyone else is on the train? No, I don't know. You would just fly.
Yeah, the world and his wife are just on the train.
Yeah.
Everybody that's essential to this story happens to be like, I don't know why, but I think we should take the train this time.
Yeah, let's take 3 days to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Through the mountains.
Yeah.
Right. Meanwhile, over at some secret research base or something, some military place, terrorists arrive, led by Everett McGill, and they kill people and they take it over very easily, and then they nick some helicopters and leave.
Yep.
Just to get the helicopters, I guess.
I don't.
Thought you would have got them earlier, not on the day. Like, you learn anything from doing missions on GTA, you get all of your shit first.
You make sure
you
it's
prep. Yeah, you do
put
all
it
your
in the
prep,
right place.
and then when you've done all your prep, then you launch the mission.
Yeah.
You don't be like, oh, by the way, we should probably get helicopter en route.
Yeah, you don't know how long that's going to take. It's a military base.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there could be resistance.
Yeah.
Not, obviously,
There
not
wasn't,
much
but-
at all.
Luckily it went very well for them. Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's like hailing a cab. But back on the train in the dining car, Steven Seagal and his niece are having a very boring conversation. Anyway, his niece leaves to go for a walk and she bumps into Bobby and they have the most forced conversation ever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey. And as he's like closing what is obviously a broom closet.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's in there? He's like, well, it's top secret. And they kind of flirt.
Yeah.
And then she assaults him for fun.
Yeah, she like flips him.
Yeah, she does some like judo flip.
Yeah. Steven Seagal.
Yeah. In the train corridor.
Yeah. She's like this thin.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Snaps his spine. Yeah. He's like decommissioned for the rest of the film. It's just like wheeled around. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, but yeah, and she's like, oh yeah, she's like, oh yeah, when you had an uncle like mine or something along those lines, like he teaches you stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and that was that, and so that will come in handy later on. Doesn't.
Yeah. Also, I mean, her dad was also in the military.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so.
But my uncle, who I've not seen in fucking years,
Yeah.
taught me self-defense, and I've just remembered all of it, and I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
Cool. Sometime later, on the train, in the dining car again, there's more boring conversation between Steven Seagal and his niece. Turns out Steven is writing a book.
Yeah.
It's his memoirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the best bouillabaisse I ever made.
And then I Steven Seagal'd him to death.
Bobby then arrives and he wants booze. Bobby mentions that his niece decked him with her jiu-jitsu. And Steven's like, yeah, I taught her that. I taught her a thing or two. Yeah, okay, mate. Steven then heads to the train's catering department and shows them how to make a cake. Why?
He shows them how to make a cake in a microwave.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No. Also, they'll be like, sorry, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
This is like staff only.
And
this
he's
is
like,
the kitchen.
Just stirring something, and all the chefs are like, whoa! The magic, witchcraft!
Burn him!
I've never seen cooking like it!
Oh my god, he's using the microwave.
Yeah, it's like, and then you put it in for 4 hours.
Also, yeah, this is like a train. Like the kitchen's not that. Come on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a microwave and like a pantry and some bits. Sandwiches they're serving.
Yeah.
These are whipping. Let me just imagine him just walking in like, excuse me, hi there, I'm here to show you how to make a cake. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Because we forgot to serve cake on the train. We had to whip one up.
Gonna just show you how to cut, because I did go to culinary school for a day, and this is the first thing there to week.
And all these like chefs,
Yeah.
just be like, Listen, we're on like minimum wage, man.
Yeah.
Who's
this cake for?
Yeah. Yeah. The helicopters from earlier that were stolen, they're en route to the train, by the way. The train, it then slams on the brakes as there's a couple of guys on the track waving them down.
Yeah.
It somehow manages to stop in time and not kill them. And by stop in time, I mean plenty of time.
Like, yeah, massively.
They're
like,
not going
takes
fast.
an hour to stop.
No.
One of these guys is Mike from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I reckon. I've not even seen him. I was like, that guy's famous now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, looks a lot younger in this.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's always looked like an old man. But this is he's a lot younger, and he doesn't have much to do in this film. But I enjoy the bits he's in.
Yes. He drives the train.
He does. He becomes the train driver. They kill the train driver and the
engineer people,
and then he steals his hat. Like he's got to wear the hat. I do like that.
So yeah, the train driver, there's in before he's killed, he even says like, they're not our guys, but let's stop anyway.
Yeah.
And some engineer and something, he mentions that they must be in dark territory. So, for those that don't know, dark territory is a term used in the North American railroad industry to describe a section of running track not controlled by signals. That's what it is. And I believe that when they're in dark territory, they can only go at certain speeds, I think. I didn't look that much into it, but that's what dark territory means. Basically means a bit off the grid in terms of railroads.
Also, in this film, it means that nobody can get like cell phone signal or.
Well, they're in the mountains, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 1995.
Yeah.
He's got a cell phone anyway.
There's like a fucking phone booth in the bar, like an actual phone booth.
Anyway, the two dudes on the track, they're terrorists, rather unsurprisingly, and they kill the train driver guys. There's multiple. There's like a driver, an engineer, another. I don't know. There's a couple of them. And then the helicopter arrives along with a Hummer that was hiding in a bush right next to the train. Where the train stopped. It just appears out of a bush like, ah! Well, has that been there the whole time? And Peter Green, the shifty-looking guy who got on the train earlier, he pulls out a gun and starts shooting to scare the shit out of all the passengers.
Which works.
Yes, he orders everyone to the back of the train. And so basically they've taken all these hostages and they put them in the back, like 2 carriages of the train. And the terrorists board and they take shit over and Bobby hides.
Yeah, I mean, we're established that these are bad dudes, but while they're like corralling the passengers, there's like a grandmother and her granddaughter who's like a small child who starts crying, and this guy goes, "Shut that bitch up or I will." It's like, fucking hell, she's a kid.
They mean business. Yeah. Some of the terrorists, they enter via the baggage compartment, and one of them shoots the suitcases.
Yeah, he goes check the baggage, and he shoots the suit. Baggage checked.
Yeah.
And that's where like Morris Chestnut's hiding, but apparently there's a secret back door.
Yes. It reminded me of the first movie when they shoot all the bread in the pantry. Yeah. They're walking free.
It's
like,
massively overkill, yeah. Check the baggage. I killed it instead.
Put a grenade in there.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Napalm.
Another terrorist enters via the kitchen. He kills one of the chefs and then says, "Any other heroes?" Steven Seagal then arrives and he kills him with his bare hands.
Yeah.
He throws the guy's body back off the train, and so the other bad guys, they put one of those like hockey puck explosives that you see in in Die Hard. They use one as well. They put one of them on the door, but Steven Seagal senses this, and he just senses that there's a bomb on the other side of the door, and he tells the other chefs to take cover.
Yeah, which they don't.
Yeah.
And then just get shot to fuck.
Yeah, then the terrorists, they then shoot the shit out of the kitchen carriage, killing all of the chefs, but obviously not Steven Seagal because he just left.
Yeah.
He just walked into a different carriage like, bye.
It is a fantastic bit. Take cover! And they're all like,
take cover. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
But you guys just take cover here.
It's not a term that chefs know. Take cover. They're like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Watch your back.
They start stirring things. Is this correct?
The bad guys load a bunch of boxes onto the train, and then they head off again. The train is moving. And there's a couple that are banging. The couple that are banging the private compartment that work for the government.
Yeah.
A bad guy bursts in and he shoots their boombox and then he leaves. So the train is now underway again, but now with a load of bad guys and all their equipment on board, along with Travis Dane.
Yeah, he wasn't dead.
Oh, who'd have thunk
That
it?
scamp.
Literally everyone that was watching the fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's
he's
like,
alive.
I'm Travis Dane.
Dane heads to the private compartment to surprise the government employees that were banging. He says hello, and then he walks off before Everett McGill tells him to get dressed.
Yeah.
Right. And they, the bad guys, they begin setting up all their equipment, right? So, unlike Tommy Lee Jones in the first movie, Travis Dane is neither charismatic or threatening. He's a fucking nerd.
Yeah, big time. Like,
Yeah.
And like he's the way he talks is, I think it's supposed to convey that he's clever and everything else. Like he's like a genius.
He's a bit whimsical about his threats and stuff.
So
isn't he?
annoying.
I mean, he's not terrible, I would say, but he's just no Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Anyway, Dane makes a broadcast the entire train through all of the monitors on the train, including the portable TV in the kitchen that Steven Seagal is watching. Just to tell everyone what's going on, keep them in the loop. But yeah, this is like a fucking plot device from the first movie as well, that everywhere on the ship and everywhere on this train, there's a monitor somewhere that you can broadcast to and talk to everybody.
I kind of wish they were showing the first film on one of these TVs at some point.
And now to interrupt the movie Under Siege with a message about your impending doom. He ends the broadcast by saying, please, no hero shit.
You can't tell Casey Ryback not to hero.
So Steven Seagal begins sneaking around the train. Dane asks the male captain, who he's got from the compartment, to give him his clearance code by threatening to shove a boiling hot needle in the eye of the female captain.
Yeah.
So he gives him the code, but he needs the other code from the female captain, so they switch. And this time he's going to stick the boiling hot needle in the dude's eye unless the lady gives up her code. The lady who is his lover, by the way. And she takes a really long time to give that code away.
I was so hoping she wasn't going to give it to him.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see what it does to the eye.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just like, babe?
Yeah.
Babe? Yo, babe! Come on! Whoa!
Remember 2 seconds ago?
Yeah. Eventually, she does give the code. He's just like, cool. Close one there, huh, babe? She's like, yeah. Everett McGill, he's like the main bad guy, apart from Drow. He's like the main henchman.
He's Gunther.
Yeah, he's Gunther. Everett McGill and the other bad guys, meanwhile, are searching the train for any stragglers, any hostages left behind, but obviously not noticing Steven Seagal at any point, as he just sneaks around a train. The trains aren't that big.
Yeah, he's just literally walking down the aisle.
So, it hides behind a fucking seat.
Hides in the little toilet.
Yeah. One of those little bins for the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like trains in this country are a lot different to these kind of big Amtrak things. They're a little bus on wheels, really. A bus on wheels, a bus on a track.
Yeah, yes, it's
you get a seat, and if you're lucky, you get like a little flip down thing, like a tray, and that's it.
I mean, this country's not big enough for these because, like, I mean, even if I go to Scotland on a train, it's going to take half a day.
Yeah.
If that, yeah. I mean, the closest thing I've been on to this would be in Thailand, when I got on the sleeper train and you get like a bunk, like with a curtain that you sort of pull across and you go to sleep. But,
I've been on a Amtrak from New York to North Carolina.
Right.
It was like 9 hours.
Nice.
I don't remember it being as lavish as this one in the movie.
Oh, we do have the Orient Express.
Never been on it.
No, I've never been on it. I've seen it.
No, I've never seen it. Anyway, back with Travis Dane. Back with Travis Dane, and he's talking a load of mumbo jumbo about satellites and nerd stuff. But he explains that no one can trace them because science and gadgets.
Yeah, because they're constantly on the move. Like this, they've created this satellite. But they created the satellite, or they've created, or the things that he's using. As long as it keeps moving, like they're so far behind the government or whatever that they're like, I've got him. Ah, he's gone. I've got him. Ah, he's gone.
They appear to be following some kind of line.
Yeah, there seems to be a pattern.
Yeah.
Evolving.
What's there? Oh, a train track. Oh, they must be on a fucking train. Case solved.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Well, I thought the idea was that they've got this like little mini satellite dish on the train that's blocking the hot signal from wherever they are.
Yeah, something like that. But he mentioned something about their...
There is like this dish that they set up in this like evil HQ carriage that's just constantly like moving around really erratically.
Takes up half the room.
Yeah, it's fucking
people
massive.
walking past like, oh god.
So Dane hacks into ATAC. That's the name of the satellite, the big one in the sky or in the space. Right, back with Steven Seagal, and he's decided to climb out of the window and onto the roof of the train because it looks cool. Just in time to see the captains be thrown from the train because Dane doesn't need them anymore.
Yeah.
The male captain he's thrown out, and as he's falling to his death, Peter Green shoots him for good measure.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Throws him like, and so he falls out, and then the lady is thrown out afterwards, but she lands in a river.
Yeah.
I guess dies, but
Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't look like the deepest river.
no.
From
But
that
usually
height.
you see like, I mean, like if Casey Ryback, Steven Seagal, was to fall in that river, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
But she dies.
She dies,
because we
definitely
never see
dies.
her again. So while Steven Seagal is on the roof, Everett McGill shuts the window he climbed out of. So now he's stuck on the roof.
Yeah.
Ah.
And there's no other windows on this train.
No. Dane then moves the satellite remotely, and as he moves it, this notifies the army people in their little situation room.
Yeah.
They've lost this thing. They've lost this fucking
This
satellite because Dane has moved it to a different bit of space.
Yeah, like he's moved it away from the only part of space that the government can monitor.
Yeah.
Like he's literally moved it a bit left.
And they're like, it's gone!
It's gone!
And then they're like, get Tom Breaker down here. What's he going to do?
It's like, what do you need?
Yeah. Tom Breaker does nothing
No.
in both ththese movies.
Yeah.
Absolutely fuck all. Contributes nothing. Has no ideas. Just stands there and smokes.
Yeah.
He's fucking useless.
His sole purpose is to make the CIA look like fucking bumbling morons.
So, Dane has control of the satellite, and Steven Seagal, he gets back on the train via the baggage car where he bumps into Bobby. Oh, by the way, this is a bit disjointed because this film is edited in a way that it cuts between about 3 different things back and forth a lot. It's just like, and then this, and then back to that, and then back to that, and then back to that. Anyway, Dane, meanwhile, he makes a phone call to the Middle East, to his investors to conduct a demonstration of the power of this satellite. And he says, I want you to watch China very closely for the next 10 minutes. They're like, okay, let's put the China channel on. What is this? Well, how do you watch China? Just keep an eye on China. Like, whoa, what?
They were like,
This is 1995. We don't have like Twitter or anything. Like,
I'll just use my satellite. Oh, I don't need this. I've already got.
doesn't make any sense. Yeah, watch China. Oh, okay, I'll keep an eye on it. Back in the baggage.
Looking out their window.
Which way's China? Back in the baggage car, Bobby is freaking out, and he suggests pulling the emergency brake, which actually is a bad idea.
Well,
but yeah, Steven.
Especially if they have to stay on the move. If you stop them.
Steven starts hatching a plan. He's going to look for a phone, and he tasks Bobby with looking through people's bags for a weapon.
Yeah. Or something that can be used as a weapon. Like, what?
Like what? There's a big dildo in this bag. Yeah. Fucking hit people with it. He also tells Bobby to take that fucking white jacket off.
Yeah.
All right.
I genuinely thought he was going to stumble across a bag full of guns. Just be like, oh, that's handy.
Yeah. The army people in their little situation room, they notice that the satellite is about to target mainland China. I don't know how. I thought they lost it.
Yeah. It comes back online or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Phew.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like we've lost it, but also we know exactly what it's doing.
Yeah.
So surely you know it's above China.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Anyway, and all they can do is stand there and watch as the satellite destroys a nuclear weapon base somehow. And we get a single shot of this nuclear weapon base. It's just like a radar tower falling down. Oh, the humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thousands dead. Trump supporters cheer.
Yeah.
It's China.
Dane then reveals his plan is to strike the Pentagon and wipe out most of the eastern seaboard. His fee for doing this, from the investors, is $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Which is not that much in today's money, but
No,
I mean,
it's nothing at all.
If you're killing like 8 million people. You're going to want more than that. But anyway, this is 1995. Meanwhile, the army people have called in more generals and the top brass to stand around and do nothing.
Yeah,
There's an
the
admiral
two
there.
admirals from the last film show up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, why didn't we know about this?
Yeah.
Because you're in the Navy and this is...
This is a satellite in space. Why the fuck would you? So basically, this satellite can cause earthquakes.
That's the gist.
The science of it somehow. Yeah, cool. Back on the train, Steven Seagal has found a bag with a gun in it.
Because of course.
Yeah, of course. And a satellite phone of some kind. That was lucky, really, wasn't it? But apparently, it's got no power, this satellite phone, even though it turns on. It literally comes on. He's like, no power.
It's not working.
No power.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
it just came on.
Talking to himself as well. Like,
Yeah.
why is he going, no power? Oh, thanks, Stephen. No problem, Stephen.
So he MacGyvers it to work.
Yeah.
And then he tries to call the Admiral, but the line is busy.
Yeah.
Over with Dane in the evil HQ rail car, and one of the investors, as sort of a side offer, offers him $100 million to destroy a plane that has his ex-wife on board. This is just petty.
Yeah.
This is sad.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, this is very what's that bloke that wrote Father Ted? Can't remember his name.
oh,
It's very divorced dad energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, like, it's played for laughs, I guess, but you're just like, have you not got better things to do?
Yeah. So Dane agrees because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And while this is going on, Everett McGill notices that the power is on downstairs where Steven Seagal is, and so he sends a bad guy with one eye to go look for him. This is one-eyed Herb. Herb the terrorist.
Hey, Herb. Oh, yeah.
Herb who's only got one eye. How did he get past basic? So he goes to look for him, and Steven Seagal kills him, obviously. And the army people, they've scrambled a jet to fire a missile at the satellite that's in space and blow it up. But it does work somehow. This is a thing that can actually happen. Because I was like, that's fucking ridiculous. But it is possible for a jet to launch a missile into like low orbit space and take out
A satellite.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've only done it a few times when they tested it in the 80s. It's very difficult and it's very expensive.
Yeah, I
And
imagine
there's
it must
only
be.
one type of missile that can do it, and only one type of plane carries it.
Is it this stealth bomber that carries it?
No, because this is before the stealth bombers come out.
Oh, right.
But yeah, in case you're wondering, like, well, that's fucking stupid. It is a thing that can be done with a lot of like money and patience, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and also the Dane, he does blow up the plane with the ex-wife on board. It's destroyed for an earthquake in midair.
Yeah, which...
Kills them with turbulence,
Yeah,
I
an
guess.
earthquake
Yeah.
in the air.
Yes. Bad guy Peter Green is ordered to go and check on one-eyed Herb downstairs, but Steven Seagal, he's snuck off out the back and taken Herb with him, I guess. Back to the baggage car to give Bobby a crash course on how to handle firearms.
Yeah.
I hate this fucking scene.
Yeah, it's awful.
Steven Seagal is such a smug cunt. Like in everything he does, the way he talks, where he's just like, yeah. Let's stay. You're like, come on, you're fucking overweight and you're like 40. You couldn't fucking fight anyone.
Yeah.
We'll get to it at the end, but you see just how actually unfit Steven Seagal is. Anyway, so Bobby is now just an expert on guns. Brilliant.
Yeah, literally after 3 seconds.
Yep.
And you were like, as you're saying, he's so smug about it. You'd be like, how do I hold it like this?
Bang. Fuck off. Travis Dane makes a call to the army people in their situation room, complete with a green screen that says he's in Paris.
Yeah. Yeah.
To reveal that they actually shot down a different satellite. It's a different one.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, because they lost ATAC, didn't they?
They couldn't see it
So
because
they
it
were
was
like,
in a different bit
blow
of
up a
space.
satellite, anyone.
Yeah, just pick one.
Yeah.
Which actually,
Yeah,
they
it comes
do
into
later.
play. Dane then states that in 45 minutes, he's going to destroy the Pentagon and the nuclear reactor that's underneath it, apparently.
Why? Why? The secret nuclear reactor you thought I didn't know about. Why is it there?
Yeah, I
What's it
don't
powering? Just
The
sure-
government.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have in the Pentagon that needs a nuclear reactor?
I don't know.
fucking
Godzilla.
Yeah,
Godzilla's down there.
it makes no sense. It's just said like that, but there's no I don't know. Like it fucked with my head. I spent the rest of the film like, why?
Why is there a nuclear reactor underneath the Pentagon? That's a really dangerous place to put one.
Yeah, why have you got it there? What is it doing? It's like, I know you've got a lot of computers there.
Fucking stupid. He then ends his transmission by bragging about how smart he is.
Yeah.
So basically, Travis Dane is pissed off because he got fired.
Yeah, that's his motivation.
Just get another job.
Yeah.
If you're that smart,
Yeah.
get another job. This is stupid. No, I'm going to kill millions and millions of people. Fuck it.
I've never had a job before where I've lost it. I've gone, fucking, I'm going to murder some people.
Yeah, most people when they lose their job are just like, oh well.
Yeah,
I'll get
another
another
one then.
Yeah, that job was shit.
It is poor motivation.
Mm-hmm. Also, word has got back to Everett McGill that One-Eyed Herb is missing. Not Herb.
Oh,
Herb.
He was days away from retirement,
Yeah,
was Herb.
everyone loved Herb.
Yeah.
Old terrorist Herb.
His wife, Maud, is going to be devastated.
Anyway, Steven Seagal is heading to the front of the train to use the radio, I guess. Oh, and the hostages, remember them, including Steven Seagal's niece.
Yeah.
They've all been stood there this entire time with their hands on their heads.
Yeah.
Still. They're just like this the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time.
It's going to take some, doing that, because, eventually...
Your arms are going to get tired, yeah. And Steven's niece starts showing off her dad's Navy Cross to some stewardess and bragging
Seems
about
unwise.
her uncle, Steven Seagal, and the stewardess just doesn't react to any of this.
No, she's like, shut up.
Yeah, literally doesn't even acknowledge. Like, oh, sorry, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
It's like, I'm just an extra, aren't I?
Yeah. Do I have lines? I don't know how to react to this. So Steven makes his way to the front of the train via the roof. Just go through a fucking door. Anyway, while Everett McGill finds some blood on the floor, and he radios the rest of the bad guys that they've got an intruder, and they have to make a sweep of the train. So yeah, they're all going to make a sweep of the train to look for him, as well as there's the another little group of terrorists at the front of the train.
Oh yeah,
driving it in the engineers, yeah.
Cracks me up.
Yeah, so they're looking for Steven, while Steven's just there reading a manual on how to work a radio.
Yeah. And you've got about 5 people crammed into the front the driving section of the train, and they're like, "Quick, check for intruder," and they all go,
just looking out.
"Nothing here, nothing in my direct vicinity."
No. So Steven Seagal kills one of the engineers that was looking for him by using the guy's own gun on him, which is always embarrassing.
Yeah.
And he throws his body off the train. He then finds a signal flare, something that will no doubt come in handy later. Mm-hmm. Also, the engineer that died, turns out they didn't really need him because he's immediately replaced by another dude that's taken his spot. It cuts back to where he was and someone's just stood back where he was.
There's a line of thugs behind him just waiting.
Another bad guy from the front engine car goes up onto the roof to look for Steven, and he's greeted by Steven Seagal's boot. He kicks him off the front of the train, and the guy is run over by the train. Ouch.
Oh yeah, quite slowly, considering this train's like a fucking massive piece of machinery, travelling fairly fast, I imagine. And he's like, "Oh no!"
He's holding on for a little bit. Yeah. A gunfight ensues, and Steven kills a bunch of them, and this is radioed back to Evil HQ carriage, and so more bad guys are on the way. The whole thing, this whole gunfight, is just done so badly. They look like children with toy guns, just waving them around.
It's got waving it above their heads and stuff.
They just
there's bullets flying everywhere.
Just waving it. They're hid behind the door. Just waves it on the other side ah! At the back of the train is the female bad guy. And she's got a big-ass sniper rifle. So she gets on the roof of the back carriage, and she's looking at Steven on the roof of the front carriage. And luckily, she has the world's best scope on this rifle.
Yeah.
It's it's almost, like a film camera.
Just zooms in.
Yeah. And she shoots Steven Seagal in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter Green and some other bad dudes go looking for him, and they reckon he's fallen between the cars and he's splattered all over the track.
Yeah.
But we know better than that, because this is fucking Steven Seagal.
And there's
Tis
still
but a
45
scratch.
minutes left of the
Yes.
film.
He's actually clinging to the underside of the train with a bullet in his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holding himself up.
Yeah. This is fine.
Yeah. I don't need ligaments.
Yeah. Tendons. Fuck that. Back in the Situation Room with the army guys, and they figured out that Everett McGill is actually a man named Penn, and he's some sort of militant nut. How the fuck did they find this out? I get that if they're like, oh, that's this guy, and here's his record.
Yeah.
How do they know he's on the train?
Yeah, it's like they've just plucked him out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like, there's at no point...
They don't even know that they're on a train. They have no idea
At this point,
where
yeah.
they are. And
Yeah.
they've just gone, so anyway, this is Penn. He's some kind of militant mercenary guy. And it's like, well, hang on.
Yeah.
What? Where have you got this information from?
Who gave this... Yeah, it's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's insane.
Penn, Everett McGill, meanwhile, he's on the train and he's found the satellite phone that Steven Seagal was using. And apparently he used it to send a fax machine to the restaurant he works in. It just says, get my pies out of the oven.
Yeah.
Hey-oh, so throw back to the first one.
Take my cakes out of the microwave.
Anyway, yeah. So also, I mean, we'll get to it. Anyway, Stephen has made his way back to the baggage room, and he explains to Bobby that he's fine because the bullet went through him. Like, it's just a hole.
Yeah.
It's just a hole in my body.
And I'm Stephen fucking Seagal.
Yeah. And the line is, you think this is being shot? This isn't being shot.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
What is
he
it?
just like pulled a gun out and just shot himself in the face? This is being shot! And I'm still fine. While this is going on, Dane is hacking the satellite phone that Stephen had, or some shit. And it turns out it's got a bunch of Stephen's like personal files on it. Was it his phone all along? I don't fucking understand whatsoever.
Yeah.
Anyway, he finds a file called Ryback's Tactics, and all the bad guys are like, oh shit. Casey Ryback, aka Steven Seagal, aka the best of the best of the best. We're all fucked.
Who's Casey Ryback? Haven't you seen Under Siege 1?
It is it's a thing in this movie and the previous movie actually that everybody who's ever been in the military knows everyone else that's ever been in the military.
Yeah. And they've all,
especially
Casey
Casey
Ryback. They've all heard of Casey Ryback. Like, he's a tale that is told amongst. Doesn't matter whether you're in the Navy, the Air Force. Everyone talks about Casey Ryback.
Oh, Casey Ryback.
The chef.
Yep, the chef. So Everett McGill sends all of the bad guys to go out looking for him again. Everett McGill, he pulls up the train's manifest to see if he's travelling with anyone. And on the manifest, it reads, Ryback +1. And he says, print that. Why? In case you forget what it says.
Yeah.
It just says Ryback +1.
And it takes 9 hours to print it out. It's like, and then they're like, oh, maybe it's his wife. And he goes, you don't call your wife +1. What? That's definitely reserved for like nieces and nephews.
Yeah, children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking stupid. While this is going on, Steven Seagal and Bobby are moving to a different carriage on the outside of the train as it goes over a bridge. Just use the fucking door.
Yeah.
Just use the door. They get to the kitchen and Steven sets about making a bomb. Remember, he's really good at MacGyvering bombs out of nothing. Then, over in Steven's restaurant back in Colorado, his sous chef finally spots the fax that he's sent. And in this one fax, it has all the info on it, apparently. And he goes, oh my God.
He goes, wait, this isn't a produce list? It's so stupid.
Back in the Army Situation Room, and the Admiral orders the evacuation of the President and the Vice President from DC. You thought they would have done that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, as soon...
Like, yeah, when they found out there's a nuclear reactor underneath the Pentagon.
Wait, what? And Tom Breaker calls his wife.
Yeah.
Of course, he's married, piece of shit. And he tells her to take the kid and leave Washington. To go to your mother's. And don't tell anyone.
And don't come back.
Yeah, let all your friends and our neighbours die. Just don't tell anyone. Everett McGill has made his way to the back of the train where the hostages are. And he makes an immediate beeline for Steven Seagal's niece. And then he spots her Navy Cross. You know, the one she's always banging on about.
Yeah.
So she pepper sprays him, but him and Peter Green are so fucking hard it doesn't affect them. And McGill says, once you get used to it, it just clears the sinuses. How many times have this guy been pepper sprayed?
Yeah.
And
Look,
why?
You imagine, always in a pub somewhere.
Yeah. I'm always trying to molest women.
Also,
Just used to mace by now.
Catherine Heigl's not that hard to find, considering everyone but her and the barmaid are sat down. They're the only two stood up in the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
That one there looking at the camera.
Yeah.
So, they take the niece away, but the stewardess has now decided she gives a shit and she tries to stop them. The stewardess is shot and killed for her trouble. All right. That's a shame. Back in the kitchen, and Stephen is still making a bomb, and Bobby says, "Hey, why the fuck do you need lighter fluid?" Because it's flammable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the things he's putting in there, why are you questioning that one?
Yeah, so far all that's in here is mustard and coconut extract.
Literally, like,
Something's got to go
coconut
boom.
the grenadine, that's fine.
Anyway, he finishes the bomb, which is a cocktail shaker with a pager duct taped to the side of it. Remember pagers, kids?
Yeah.
Well, not kids, adults.
Yeah.
Pagers are even beyond my time.
For the kids, they were the precursor to mobile phones.
Yes.
Like,
It was kind of a little thing that all it could do was send a little text
it
message.
beeped, yeah, and it would just have a little message saying "call mum" or something or whatever.
Yeah, and then you'd have to go find an actual phone.
find a phone box.
And so, Steven Seagal, along with his bomb and a gun in his hand, heads up to Evil HQ carriage, and he lobs it at some guy. It doesn't really explode, it's more like a petrol bomb.
It just kind of goes.
And it sets two guys on fire, neither of which are Travis Dane.
Yeah, it sets one guy on fire, and then he falls into his mate, who then
Oh,
bursts into flames. Yeah.
While there's all this commotion, and they're trying to put the fire out, Bobby has arrived in Evil HQ in a dumbwaiter that's luckily has the computer set up right next to it, and he nicks a compact disc that we forgot to mention. And basically, this compact disc is really important. It's like the MacGuffin of the whole.
It's got all the codes on it.
Nothing works without this CD.
Yeah.
And Bobby's just nicked it and gone back up in the dumbwaiter.
Yeah, it's got all the codes on it, apart from the ones that they had to threaten that couple for.
Yeah. Stupid. So Dane starts freaking out because the computer is not working, and another bad guy is set on fire when he heads down the stairs to look for Steven. Steven fires that flare he found earlier at him, and luckily he's also soaked the stairs in booze, so he goes up like fucking Guy Fawkes. I swear the number of bad guys is actually growing.
Yeah, there's
just
it's like every now and again some more jump on the train.
They're just like
somewhere.
they spawn.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's another three. Where'd they come from? Didn't see them.
I mean, this is on a train as well. Like, you'd notice, like, literally 90% of the train passengers are goons.
Yeah. Anyway, now Stephen boots the flaming man off of the train. Bobby now has the CD and he runs off with it somewhere, right? While upstairs, it's just chaos. You've got Everett McGill threatening to shoot one of his men unless he walks through fire to go get Steven Seagal. Mm-hmm. You've got Peter Green trying to put the fires out, and you've got Travis Dane having a meltdown because he's realised that his CD is missing, right? Anyway, after killing some people, Steven Seagal is now climbing along the outside of the moving train because it looks cool. And there's some bad guy there with a gun, and he's been instructed not to shoot him because he thinks he has a CD on him.
Yeah.
They don't know about Bobby yet, right? Steven Seagal tackles this guy, and they both fall off of the train and pretty much off of a cliff. So the train has to stop. Because remember, they think that he's got the CD.
Yeah.
And when the train stops, Bobby makes a run for it. And now he has been... has he been spotted yet?
Yeah, they figure it because he goes...
But he's now been spotted, basically,
Yeah.
Steven then punches the bad guy, and he falls from the cliff into the ravine. And then Steven just hangs there on the cliff face for a moment, because it looks cool.
Yeah, it's just like...
Yeah, this is easy.
Yeah. He has been shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just hanging there. And then... so one guy goes off after Bobby, and then another guy abseils down, because they do like an abseil in
they love an
Under
abseil,
Siege.
yeah.
At least this one kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is a cliff.
Compared to the last
There's
one.
no other way to get to it. Bobby, he's made it clear of the train. Then he decides to stop and give away his position by firing the gun Steven Seagal gave at him at the bad guys.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, he had every opportunity to get away.
Yeah. No. It was like, oh, no, I'm just going to turn around and go, hey, back. Oh, I didn't
Don't forget me!
Yeah, I didn't kill any of them because I don't know how to shoot a gun. Fuck. So, one bad guy runs after Bobby again, and then another one, as you said, he abseils down the side of the cliff to face Steven Seagal, and Steven says, hello.
Yeah.
Literally just like that. Hello. It's quite... I did laugh.
Yeah.
I really did laugh.
It's amazing.
It's the best, delivery Steven Seagal's done in any film ever. There's this terrorist drops down. He's like, hello. Steven jumps onto the guy's rope and beats him up. So they send another bad guy down to abseil down towards him. But Steven shoots this guy's rope and he falls to his death in bad green screen.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh! It's like the end of RoboCop.
yeah.
Meanwhile, the other bad guy, he's caught up with Bobby, and Bobby pretends to have lost the CD, but he dupes the bad guy, and he pulls out a gun, and Bobby shoots him dead. It turns out, however, all this is a total waste of fucking time, because Bobby did actually drop the CD under the train,
and they just find it.
Everett McGill just finds it. He's like, oh, here it is. Okay. Never mind, let's go. Come on. And they get back on the train and leave.
It's so good. It's literally there it is.
It's there. It's there by the track. Look there. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that was fucking easy.
Let's go then. Leave them two off the train.
Yeah.
We're golden.
Yeah. So they get back on the train and it disembarks. But as it disembarks, it pulls Steven up the cliff face to safety because the rope is attached to the train until Everett McGill shoots it off anyway. So the train is leaving with the bad guys who have the CD without Bobby and without Steven Seagal. The end.
The end. the goons win.
Yeah. And Travis Dane, he has set a countdown of 20 minutes. I know he said 45 minutes, but now he's got an actual clock with a countdown. 20 minutes, right? While the army people are in a situation room, they start panicking and start shutting down other satellites, which will help somehow. I guess to isolate. I don't know.
So they don't get mixed up. Surely you know that they're different
know.
satellites. Yeah. Like, I've got so many satellites. It's so confusing. We should have named them.
Yeah. As they're doing this, the Admiral receives word that there is a cook who has a message for him. And he's like, yeah, sure, patch him through.
Yeah, no worries.
I've definitely got time for this.
Yeah, this is... everyone's got this phone number.
Hello, civilian.
Yeah.
That I don't know. You're a cook? What do you want? Kind of busy.
Handy, actually. I was wondering how you'd make a cake if you've just got a microwave.
Yeah, can you use a microwave to make a cake? I've heard you can. The cook reads the facts that Steven sent him, and the army people, they now know where Dane is. And they learn that Casey Ryback is on the train, and luckily everyone in the military at all levels knows who Casey Ryback is. Yep. Why, that's Steven Seagal! We're saved.
They're literally just like, oh, well, let Ryback get on with it then.
Yeah.
One of them says that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine. And
so
then they seem to forget that he's there for the rest of the film.
Yeah, but now they know he's on the train.
Yeah.
And where the train is.
Yeah.
So while this is going on, Steven Seagal has found a pickup truck from fucking nowhere, and he hotwires it. They're literally like in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah.
Like, it's dark territory. It's like, oh, there's a truck here.
There's a truck,
just by the track. Brilliant.
And he just like opens and finds two wires that have been cut. And he's like, oh, lucky it was those two wires that were cut. Look.
So the army people start putting together a plan to blow up the train and kill all of the hostages. Like in the first one, they've only got one plan.
Yeah.
Kill everyone.
Well, it's the US military. The US military for you. Just bomb them.
Shock and awesome.
Yeah.
So they're going to use some stealth bombers, which they've scrambled, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they've only got a certain amount of these, haven't they?
What, stealth bombers?
Oh, no, it's the Pegasus they've only got a certain amount of.
Oh, yeah, that's
the satellite shooters.
Yeah, the satellite shooters, yeah. We cut back to the train, and Bobby is back in the baggage compartment, somehow.
Yeah, he just keeps going back there.
How did he get back on the train? It left without him.
Oh, no, you do see him run up and, like...
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I must have missed
a really
that.
quick point. Like, and then because he sat there and he's like, why did I get back on the train? And the audience is like, mm-hmm.
No, why did you get back on the train? Back in the Evil HQ carriage of the train, Everett McGill is getting weird with Steven's niece, and he states that all the hostages will be killed. And was like, wait, what? Will they? Well, he's going a little bit rogue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And she, like, digs her thumbnail into his face.
Yeah, it's some kind of, like,
like,
Vulcan grip.
yeah, it's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
and it does nothing.
Yeah. It's like, my uncle taught me this. It's yeah, Star Trek isn't real. Get off me.
And like she pulls the thumb away, and you can just see a little indent that goes away, literally
Yeah.
on camera.
She
It's
basically
like,
just pushed her nail into his
Yeah, that's
cheek,
it.
and he's like,
there's not even blood.
yeah.
Like, it's not even broken the skin.
it's fucking stupid.
Like, well, my uncle said you die.
Yeah. You're supposed to like flop on the floor.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steven Seagal in his pickup truck has caught up with the train, and he's driven up onto a hill, so he's above the train. And he's jumped out of the pickup truck just before it jumps over the train.
Yeah.
And then he's jumped onto the roof, or rather his stuntman has.
Yeah.
And so now he's back on the train. All right.
I think this whole scene would have been better if he'd like driven the truck off the cliff, like, and it went over the train, and then he jumped out onto
Of the
train.
truck onto the...
But yeah, it just seems like a lot of work. He could have just stopped it,
Got
out,
Yeah.
and then jumped on
Yeah,
it.
stupid. Bobby in the baggage compartment is apprehended by Peter Green, but he goes to shoot Bobby, but Steven Seagal arrives just in time to save his ass, and he kills Peter Green with his bare hands. Back in Evil HQ, the $1 billion has been transferred into the bad guy's Swiss bank account. So I guess now they can just blow up DC, and yeah, there's no point
That's
for
it,
any
yeah.
countdown bullshit, is there?
No, just go for it. If the
It's
money's been there,
Yeah, we've got the money. Push the button.
Yeah.
Go.
done.
Head of schedule. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can get off early with time for drinks.
Yeah. Fuck it.
But no, we've set the timer.
Yeah.
Paid a lot of money for that digital readout.
That digital clock, like, you got it off Wish.com.
Yeah.
Like,
Timu.
yeah, the rest of the film is just like, because after this you're like, this is all fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the money arrived in the bank account, you can be like, cool, boom, let's go. Now let's stick around. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Half of our men have been killed by a chef already,
Yeah.
but what's the rush?
Dane also uses his computer to switch the track, and he takes the train past an old ghost town for fun.
Yeah, no,
Hey!
it's just like, because it looks nice.
Yeah, look at this. Let's stop here. Well, we've got plenty of time. Let's go on the fucking haunted train ride. Woo!
Morris Chestnut's like,
There's the
ghost
haunted
town's-
mine.
Yeah, it's the old ghost town, because usually it's on the other side of the train. What does it matter?
So they've switched the train onto a different track,
Yeah.
right?
Oh no, isn't it? Now it's heading towards.
Yeah, so
That's it.
Steve and Bobby, they learn that the train is now on a head-on collision with something. We'll find out in a minute. But Steven's like, I'm not going to let that happen. And we're going to rescue those hostages. Just the worst delivery ever.
Yeah.
Worse than what I just did. It's almost a talent to do it that badly. He's so, every line he delivers is just like, oh,
Yeah.
God. Turns out the train is heading towards another train that's carrying a shitload of gasoline.
Yeah.
The army people, they know this, but they can't contact the other train because it's dark territory.
Yeah.
Gotta get it
There's
in there
no-
one more time.
Yeah. There's like no phone system, nothing like,
No.
at all that you can contact another, which seems
Stupid.
dangerous.
They couldn't just like send a helicopter with a bunch of army people.
Yeah,
there.
or a flare.
Yeah, so maybe sort of stand in the track so it stops in time, like the other one did. And it's like, hey, by the way, don't go any further because
Yeah.
there's terrorists on the train heading this way. In fact, can you back up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop entirely.
But no, you can't do that.
Oh, luckily we've got flares for just this occasion, and there's just the dead guy with like the flares. And I'm like, oh, Stephen.
Meanwhile, the stealth bombers, they're on the way, and they get the green light to go and blow up the train and kill all the hostages and terrorists and Bobby and Steven Seagal.
Yeah, everyone.
Evil HQ pick up that bombers are on the way, and Everett tells Dane to shoot them down, but he can't. He can't use it because if he uses the satellite, he'll lose the DC targeting.
Yeah.
This is what he says. And time is a bit of an issue, obviously, because the train is on a crash course with 800,000 tons of gasoline. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Didn't really plan for this.
Yeah.
No.
Always have a plan B.
Yeah. But
Travis.
then he decides that he can. So
Yeah.
he now does target the
Out of nowhere. It's like, I've listed all the reasons this is impossible, but
Yeah, I think I can do it. So he destroys one of them, the stealth bombers. That's one out. Steven Seagal and Bobby, meanwhile, they have arrived to save the hostages.
Yes.
Some of which still have their hands on their heads. Oh, my fucking arms are killing me. So Steven arrives. He kills some dude by throwing a knife at him that he got from somewhere.
Yep.
And then he just starts shooting bad guys. This scares the living shit out of the hostages, by the way. Like, oh, fuck! Ah! All of a sudden, fucking gunfire everywhere. Bobby shows up with a machine gun and just starts mowing down bad guys. Luckily, none of the hostages are hit.
Yeah.
Like, you're on a train, it's like, ah!
He's very much okay with killing other human beings now.
Even if innocents.
Yeah.
Don't get in my way. I don't really know how to use this, by the way. Fuck!
It's collateral damage.
There's also one military guy there who tries to take out a bad guy, but then he's killed. Where'd he come from?
Exactly.
Was he just...
I was at first, because I said stop it and rewind it. I was
thought
like,
it was
is
the
that the
captain.
guy they killed?
Yeah.
Like, earlier. Like, and I don't, to this point, even now, I'm like, was it him?
No,
Like,
it looked like him, but
Yeah.
he's like in a military uniform. He's got like his bandage on and shit.
So he's been like an absolute coward for this entire film, and now he's like, "Now's my chance."
Yeah,
and he
you
just
think
dies.
Steven Seagal will be like, yeah, I could use him, but actually, I'm gonna get this porter to help me instead.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, fuck the guy with actual training.
yeah. Meanwhile, the remaining stealth bomber has arrived and locked onto the train. But just as it arrives, right next to the train, Dane blows that up using the satellite.
Yeah.
It would be a really cool shot if it wasn't so fucking stupid. Like, if a plane is bombing something,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be
doesn't
20
need to
feet
be
from it.
right in front of it.
He literally flies like 20 feet above it. Like, if you were to drop the bomb, you'd blow yourself up.
Cuts to the pilot, and he lifts up his visor. He's got really thick glasses on. And he's like, "Is that it? Is that it?"
Yeah.
It's like your nan trying to look at her phone. Like, I think I see it.
So what do you think? Was he like doing kamikaze or something? Why are you flying right into the fucking thing? You're a bomber. You could do this from like 100 feet up at least.
The missile has a guiding system.
I've got to get real close. I don't want to miss.
I'm just trying to make sure this bomb hits one man on the train.
Fucking ridiculous. The countdown is now 13 minutes, by the way, and the admiral in the situation room, he just shouts, "Get me the president." Why?
Yeah, why?
What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
And
And he also never turns up.
no, he doesn't.
Didn't they do that in the first one as well? Like, give me the president,
Like,
and he never shows.
Go wake the president. Yeah, he never comes.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Just turns his phone off now. I'm good. Steven Seagal then picks up a radio to address Everett McGill directly. He goes, I get that he knows who Penn is.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the military knows everyone.
Yeah.
But how's he know he's on the train?
Yeah, again, like, has he seen him at this point?
Oh, wait, did he see him briefly when he threw that petrol bomb into the Evil HQ?
Must have done.
That must be, it's like a quick glimpse of him, like, you. Yeah, I remember you.
I remember you.
Yeah.
We used to be pals.
Yeah, because we were all
I used to
in the
go to your
military.
cafe.
Yeah. So Steven Seagal says, "I'm coming to get my niece now."
Yeah, I know. Straight away, I would have killed her.
Yeah. Bang,
No, too late.
So,
And then he goes, yeah, but is this the point where he goes, don't worry, I'm going to go and fight him hand to hand. Why are you saying that?
Yeah. So, there's basically like 3 bad guys left.
Yeah.
You've got Dane, Everett McGill, and some guy in a flat cap. The train is racing towards destruction in the form of another train carrying a shitload of gasoline. The guy in the flat cap, he thinks they should cut and run.
Yeah, which
Right?
is a good idea.
Yeah. It's not been revealed how they plan to do this yet, but okay, yeah, they should cut and run. Everett McGill has just invited the world's most kick-ass man to Evil HQ to have a fight.
Yeah.
And he disagrees with the guy in the flat cap so strongly that he stabs him in the fucking throat.
Yeah, this is like, how dare you question me?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And this is when Travis Dane is like, oh no.
Yeah.
This militant nut job might be a bit nuttier than I thought. Oh,
It's taken him this long.
I've already paid him now.
Yeah.
Bobby, meanwhile, has separated the train car with the hostages on it. So that's gone.
Yeah.
But he's jumped onto the rest of the train to be with Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to help you. And this is Steven Seagal, because that helicopter shows up and he goes, right, climb up there and commandeer. This is a porter.
Oh, yeah.
Climb up there and commandeer this helicopter. And he's like, what? And he goes, it might not work.
Yeah. So,
But just try.
yeah. It turns out that the bad guy's plan to escape the moving train is the same that the Joker had in Tim Burton's Batman. A helicopter has arrived with a rope ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Stephen does instruct Bobby to climb the ladder and commandeer the helicopter. Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he's like, just it might not work. Just try.
Yeah. It's like, aren't you the Navy SEAL?
Yeah.
I'm a kitchen porter. Fucking ridiculous.
All you can do is try.
Yeah.
Bobby.
So the bad guys, they blow a hole in the roof, right? Oh, as I said, there's the female bad guy. She's
Yes.
still there, the bad gal. And so the helicopter ladder can get to them, right? So they got a hole in the roof. But Bobby is on the ladder, and the female bad guy, the bad gal, is tasked with dealing with him, which should be easy.
Yeah,
She's,
pretty
like,
much. I mean,
trained.
He's a porter.
Yep.
She's a mercenary.
Yep. So both Bobby and the bad gal, they make it onto the helicopter, and they're having a fight in the back while the pilot's like, hey, what's going on back there? And then, so they fight for a bit, and Bobby wins the fight somehow.
Which seems, yeah,
and he
unlikely.
throws the bad gal out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
And so Bobby now has a gun to the pilot's head. Yeah. How the fuck did he beat her up? Oh, no,
Doesn't
because
make any
he
sense.
used the jujitsu flip move.
Oh, with
knee-
the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
But he's had it done to him once, so
Yeah.
he knows how to do it now. Yeah, that was it.
Also, isn't she like shit hot with a sniper rifle? She could have just shot him.
Literally
off
from
the ladder.
from the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, makes no sense.
So Bobby essentially has control of the helicopter because he's got a gun to the pilot's head. Steven Seagal is making his way to Evil HQ compartment, but he has to stop by the little room compartment, whatever it is, that him and his niece had. I don't know why, but he does.
Yeah.
But the door has been booby-trapped with a grenade. But this is Steven Seagal. He spots it and he deals with it. There's like a grenade set up on the sliding door. He's like, ah. And so he stands back like a foot and he throws something at it and it blows up.
Yeah.
And then another fucking bad guy disappears from nowhere.
The whole thing, because I was under the impression that was Steven Seagal's room.
Yeah.
So he's booby trapped it. That's what I thought. Like, and he's like, he's just about to go, and he's like, oh, hang on, I remembered, I've just booby trapped it. So he blows it up, and then round the corner is some sleeping goon. He's like, whoa, and then he kills him.
I don't know, why would he booby trap his own room? There was no one in there.
As if they went looking for him.
I don't remember him doing that.
He didn't. I just don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I think Everett
to me.
McGill did it.
Yeah, oh, right. So you.
Everett McGill's supposed to be like his almost like counterpart. Like,
Yeah. But
also
it's such
good
an
with bombs.
obvious trap.
Yeah, I know.
Like, literally, you see the hand grenade in the glass.
It's just an excuse to have an explosion
Yeah.
and for Steven Seagal to kill another guy that spawned out of nowhere. In the Evil HQ compartment, Everett McGill is threatening Travis Dane for some reason. He's like, you handle the techno shit, I'll handle Steven Seagal. Hand to hand.
Hand to hand.
Hand to hand. We're going to jerk each other off.
Yeah.
See who comes first. Why, though?
Yeah.
Like, Travis Dane was like, why? We could have left by now.
Yeah.
This is such an unnecessary risk. We've got $1 billion sitting in the bank. Let's go.
Just leave. Look, the helicopter's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to.
All right,
I mean,
there's one portal with a gun on it.
Yeah.
We've got a pilot and two of us. Plus, is there anyone else left? I don't think. Is there anyone else left?
No, I think that's it. I think
yeah.
it's just.
They
just
finally
them.
ran out of henchmen and
Yeah.
goons.
And he's like, now I'm just going to take this unnecessary risk and fight Steven Seagal.
Yes.
Hand to hand.
The countdown is now at 10 minutes, by the way, people. Over in the Situation Room, they have narrowed down the search for this satellite to 8 possibilities. Just blow them all up.
Yeah.
But you can't, apparently.
Oh no, that's
Is that
because
the
they've
thing?
only got the one missile left. This is what I was talking about earlier.
Oh.
The Pegasus, like, because they're too expensive to make or something. Like, and
Why
as
don't
you
they
said,
just
it's quite
use one of them to,
time-consuming.
like, crash into all the others and take them out?
Could do.
Can they control? Oh, it's fucking
don't know.
daft. Anyway.
But they're literally that techie that was looking at tits earlier. They're like, pick one.
Yeah, the Admiral asked one of the nerds who was there just randomly, just pick one.
Yeah.
We've got
pick a
we've got
satellite.
one missile, we've got 8 possibilities. Just pick any
Yeah, just
random
pick a
one.
satellite. If it's the wrong one, billions die,
Yeah.
and it's on you.
Yeah. So he picks Kappa because they've named them all Alpha, Delta. Blah,
Yeah.
blah. So he picks Kappa as the one, right? Back on the train, however, Everett McGill has tied a noose around the niece's neck, and Steven Seagal has arrived to face him, but Everett McGill has a grenade in his hand, and he's pulled the pin because he's fucking mental, basically.
Yeah.
Yes. He tells Seagal to drop the weapons, and he gives the grenade to the niece to hold, and he goes to face Steven Seagal, mano a mano, but with knives.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's not hand to hand.
not hand, it's knife to knife.
It's knives. which is just like the Tommy Lee Jones fight at the end of the last film.
It is,
With
isn't
knives.
it?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this fight ensues, this knife fight. And at one point during the fight, Everett McGill says, "Good morning."
Yeah, I know. Why? It's so
It's
weird.
evening by now. Yeah, also, it's gone from day to night. They're in the evening now. And he's like, "Whoa,
Good morning. Yeah, it's
Right.
so odd.
what did you just say? Did you just say good morning? Did you mean to say that?" "Yes. Why?"
I just want you to have a pleasant morning. I
Yeah.
mean, is that too much to believe?
It's 9:00 at night.
Yeah, it's such an odd thing to say.
Yeah. There's also one point in the fight where the footage is clearly sped up.
Yeah.
It's when Steven Seagal flips him, and it's really like they speed up the footage to make Steven Seagal look faster than he is because he's a fat shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, after way too long, Steven Seagal eventually kills Everett McGill. He breaks his neck. The countdown is now 1 minute, people.
1 minute.
1 minute. And Dane is getting ready to leave. Dane's got a laptop with him that he can control the satellite from. He says, "This is all I need." So he could have just done this from home?
Yeah, wouldn't have had to get out of bed.
I don't understand this at all.
No, it makes
This
no sense.
makes the entire film pointless.
All of that gear that they've set up on the plane,
Yep.
on the train, is, pointless.
Why even on a train?
Yeah.
Why have they done this? He could have done it from a balcony in Tuscany.
Yep. Literally anywhere.
Yeah. This entire thing is a complete waste of fucking
Yeah.
time.
It makes no... Yeah. Just completely invalidated the whole film. Not
Yep.
that... I mean, it was particularly valid to begin with.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because they never knew where... So he had that satellite thing.
Yeah. But that
Blocking-
gets blown up halfway through the film and nobody's bothered.
Yeah. Yes. That's blocking his location. So he literally could have done this from, like, his living room.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. Oh dear. So he says goodbye to the niece, Travis Dane, and he says, the niece is like, "You take one step and I'm dropping this grenade." Dane calls her bluff and walks
Yeah.
off. She doesn't drop the grenade.
No.
But Uncle Stephen arrives. He takes the noose off his niece's neck, and then he throws the grenade at Dane. We then cut to the army people in the situation, and guess what? It wasn't Kappa.
It wasn't Kappa.
No.
So all those deaths are now on that techie nerd's
Yeah,
fucking...
it turns out just randomly
conscious.
guessing shit doesn't really work.
Nope.
No. But there's one guy in the background who's like, "It wasn't Kappa! It wasn't Kappa!"
Could have sworn it was Kappa.
That's like me being like, "I didn't win the lottery!" And the Admiral just like, "Oh no.
Yeah.
Fuck."
Well, my hands are clean. It's
Yeah.
all on you.
It's all on you, you fucking geek. Back on the train, Steven Seagal confronts Dane, who is still alive somehow. He's not just alive, he's very much alive.
Yeah, it's not even touched by the grenade.
No. And Dane tells him that there's no way to shut it off. We're down to 17 seconds here, by the way, people, on the countdown. And he says, there's no way this can be shut off. You're done for. But it turns out there is a way.
Yeah.
By shooting the laptop.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it could have just turned it off,
Yeah.
I suppose.
No, Steven Seagal just shoots the laptop that Dane is holding. This causes the location of the satellite to be revealed
Yeah.
to the army
Like
people.
magic.
Yep. And they blow it up. Because they had more than one missile, it turns out.
Yeah, suddenly.
Yeah. They're all like, "We've only got one. Pick one. Kappa." It wasn't Kappa. Well,
Yeah.
we're fucked. "Oh, it's that one. Fire another missile." Where'd you get that from? No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's just like the whole thing was just to make this guy the fucking
Yeah.
patsy.
Unbelievable. So yeah, it's blown up. And Dane, who's been shot because the bullet went through the laptop, says, "Well, I never thought of that." So he's not that smart, is it?
No.
And then he falls from the train and he dies. But remember, the train is also on a crash course collision with another train. It's got a shitload of gasoline on it. The niece, she makes it out of the roof to the ladder, the helicopter that's been there this whole time, just hovering above.
Yeah.
But Steven Seagal, he doesn't. Also, the bad guy engineer, was his name Mike from Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
He's still at the front of the train
Still
driving
driving. Just happily driving along.
into another train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. As they head towards the other one, you just see Mike grinning maniacally.
Yeah.
Like, as he's like, "Yeah, this is the best moment of my life." As he plows into this other
Killing
toy
himself.
train.
Yeah. It's just like, why didn't you get off?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make
He's like,
any
no,
sense.
he had to make sure.
So he dies.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Steven Seagal, he survives by jogging away from danger,
Yeah, through the...
through the doors that he could have used earlier instead of
Yeah.
climbing on the roof. But yeah, as the train is, it's on a bridge as well, as it's smashing into the other one, everything's getting destroyed. Steven is jogging towards the back because he's a fat fuck.
Yeah, it's
As all
clearly
this stuff's
like...
exploding behind
It's
him.
like a terrible CGI job, like as he's running through this thing. But then it cuts to... Did you notice it cuts to sort of an outside shot, and Travis Dane
is on the floor.
But it's like this awful like photo shot.
Yeah, it's like
where
just
he's
his head. Yeah, like head and arms, like
Yeah, it's so weird.
Anyway, big explosions and crashes happen, and the helicopter is now positioned at the back of the train so that Steven Seagal can run all the way to the back, or jog, and then jump onto the ladder in dramatic fashion because it looks cool.
Yep.
Which he does. And now he's on the ladder, and then somehow Dane grabs his leg.
Yeah.
How's he got off the floor?
Who we've just seen in another shot, miles away from the train.
Yeah. He's now got off the floor,
Yeah.
run to the train,
Run all the way back.
and then jumped up 30 feet
Yeah.
to grab his leg.
After being shot, blown up by a hand grenade, and thrown off a train.
Yep. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Dane, so he's like climbing off, he's like, Ryback, we should work together. Dane makes it to the helicopter door, but he's on fire. And then Steven slams the sliding door, slicing Dane's fingers off. Ouch. And he falls to a fiery death. Then there's a really big explosion, which engulfs the helicopter in flames. And it's fucked and it's going all over the place, but they're fine.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Now, safely away, Steven Seagal radios to the army people in the Situation Room to tell them that the hostages are safe. I think. We left them several miles back on the track. I don't know.
For all we know.
Wolves could have got them.
As far as I know,
Yeah.
they're fine. Wolves could have got them. Coyotes.
They're just there. Yeah. Like, finally, we're free in the mountains. Shit. I don't even know how to start a fight. Is that a coyote? Ah! We then cut to Steven Seagal in all of his naval regalia with all of his medals and at his brother's grave, and his niece is there.
Yeah.
And some cheesy ass song starts playing. Roll credits, the end.
Yeah.
So there we go.
There's a line earlier on in that film as well where he turns around to Katherine Heigl and he goes, you know, your dad didn't win all those medals by being a choir boy. And I'm like, ooh, that suggests that he was into some bad shit. It's just a line that happens in the film and it's never, ever, ever explored.
I mean, none of his dialogue doesn't really make any sense.
No.
You just don't even really, you kind of tone it out because it's delivered so badly. And it's just,
It's awful.
Yeah, it's like you think this is getting shot? This isn't getting shot.
Mm.
What? Was that even fucking? You were definitely shot, you bellend.
When he argues with with Katherine Heigl, he says, I'm not trained for this.
What? What? Anyway, what did you think?
Yeah, I did not enjoy this. Like, at least the first one I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah.
This is nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, stupid nonsense.
I mean, Steven Seagal is so fucking uncharismatic that the only reason the first film was any good is because you've got Erica Elena's boobs in it and Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey.
Yeah, this film really misses a Tommy Lee Jones or a Gary Busey.
Or a Big Bear Tits.
Yeah, or a pair of tits. Yeah, it just doesn't have anything at all. I mean, Morris Chestnut, bless him, does what he can.
Yeah, I'll give
with
him
these
that,
lines, he does try, but
Katherine Heigl is just so just wooden.
Yeah,
terrible. And Everett McGill's all right, but he's no Tommy Lee Jones.
No,
not
at all.
I don't like the first one. I didn't hate it. Like I watch these usually like 3 parts because I've got to write all this bullshit as I do it. And I wasn't like dreading it, like, oh, I've got to finish watching that now. I was like, actually kind of looking forward to it. Like, it's not good, but it's not fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's, like the first one, it's pretty bad, but it's watchable. It's just not as good as the first one.
No, it's definitely not as good as the first one. And the plot holes are wide. It just like there's a lot in this film that just doesn't make any sense, and it's not. I know, like a lot of the time you can kind of switch that off and just enjoy the film for what it is, like and stuff, and don't really think about it until later on. But these are so glaring.
There's so much mumbo jumbo, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just so much nonsense.
Yeah, like a satellite that can create earthquakes by using. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's like this is
Yeah,
nonsense.
It's made it like more complicated than it needs to be, and you don't have the knowledge to back it up.
Yeah. Did you look up any trivia for this?
I did actually. I've got some. It's quite what I think is quite interesting. During this production, Steven Seagal started wearing a girdle to contain his stomach.
Told ya.
This was apparently a temporary fix, as he intended to lose the excess weight eventually. This has not occurred. I'm just going to read that as it's written because it's brilliant. Yeah, so like his spiral into the world's fattest action star
began in 1995.
1995. And has just continued. I watched a video of him recently where he's in a dojo and like with like actual like black belts like and stuff, and he's just doing all like, and I guess they're just like playing along, and he's like doing all this stuff, pandering to him, and he's like, yeah, like I'd kill you like that and stuff, and it just seems
yeah, sure you would. What are you gonna do? Sit on me?
Right, producer John Peters drew the ire of Steven Seagal after the action star returned from a vacation in Indonesia and discovered that Peters had hired Gary Busey to play the villain.
Oh.
Busey famously played one of the villains in the first film, who was dispatched via explosion. Matters got worse when it was discovered that Busey had a pay-or-play deal, which meant he got his fee if he was in the film or not. Ultimately, Busey was paid his $750,000 salary, which allegedly came out of Steven Seagal's pocket as a producer, but he didn't work a day on the film.
Brilliant. Yeah. Good for you, Gary Busey.
Gary Oldman, Lawrence Fishburne, Julian Sands, and Jeff Goldblum were among those who refused the role of Travis Dane.
Well, Jeff Goldblum would have been quite entertaining.
Yeah,
as a villain.
I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
Like, would have like completely stolen the film.
Satellite.
Yeah, would have been much better.
Cheeseburgers.
The scene of the destroyed industrial facility in China recycles unused footage from On Deadly Ground, which was a Steven Seagal film from the year before. It's the burning of the Aegis oil facility. This one, you know, Jenny McCarthy, or do you remember Jenny McCarthy?
Was she a Playboy model?
She was. She did a load of comedy films as well. She was like very beautiful blonde.
Yeah.
She's Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg now. I don't know which one of the Wahlbergs she's married. She auditioned for the role of Kelly, which is the barmaid, who apparently was a role people auditioned for.
It's got like one line in it.
Yeah. But she auditioned for the role of Kelly with Steven Seagal. She claimed that during the audition, Seagal ordered her to strip naked after he found out she had been a Playboy Playmate of the Year, even though the role did not require nudity.
Brilliant. Good one, Steven.
Yeah. She angrily told him that if he wanted to see her naked, he should buy the Playboy edition that she posed for, and stormed out. Years later, in the wake of several women accusing Seagal of sexual misconduct, McCarthy added that Seagal wanted her to strip because the nudity would have been off-screen. Seagal's spokespersons and lawyers have denied McCarthy's stories for legality. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Like, there's quite a few stories about Seagal being a bit of a fucking
bellend.
wrong'un.
Yeah. Right, comments from people. Did you get any?
I think I got 2.
I put it on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, did that work?
Yes. Sam Williams. All I remember of Under Siege 2 was watching on Channel 5 back in the day when they would air a film at 9 p.m. every weeknight. Pretty decent from memory, but number 1 is better because of the cake scene. Yep. Mitch says Dark Territory is awful in a catalogue of terrible movies, but when the first Under Siege was so successful, it was inevitable it was going to get a sequel. Yeah, definitely.
Apparently there's been a third one in the works since 2014.
I don't ever... Fuck off. Smedley Belkin, it's bad. I always thought it looked so much lower budget than it actually was, which is never a good sign. Lex Skag straddles the line of so bad it's good, but ultimately falls short. Good for a drinking game, though.
What? drinking game. You can't say that and then not tell us
Yeah,
what the
right.
rules would be.
Little Miss Frisk. I remember liking it when I was like 8. I tried to watch it again years later. I turned it off. Monkey Death Kill.
Good name.
It hasn't aged well, I'll bet. Haven't seen it in 25 years or so. Morris Chestnut was the best thing about it. I'm a porter, not a busboy. Terrible movie, though. Yeah, it is terrible. Mainly people like score a prank better than the first one.
Yeah.
Stephen Botting. It's watchable, but what makes it less exciting than the first one for me is it's missing the mad energy you get from the likes of Gary Busey and Tommy Lee Jones. Given a choice, I'd always watch the first over this. There you go.
Yeah, entirely. I just got 2. I got Dan Jenkins. Maybe I'm biased because we happened to buy this on X-Rental VHS for cheap and therefore watched it a lot. Probably even more than the first Under Siege that we later taped off TV. Parts of it are fun, or maybe I have rose-tinted glasses on Under Siege films. Maybe I have rose-tinted glasses on. Under Siege films have the distinction of being in a tiny minority of watchable Steve Seagal films.
Yeah, Steven Seagal is fucking horrendous.
I do like both the comments I've got. They've given themselves an out, really. Bernadette Pamplin, we watched this a while ago. Great fun. At least I thought so.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what make this film better?
What?
If it had anyone other than Steven Seagal in the lead role.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, I mean, it just the train is just a shit premise.
Especially as we know at the end, he didn't ever need to be on the train.
Yeah.
The bad guy could have done it from home.
Yeah, it's awful.
Fucking stupid. Anyway, that was that. Thank you very much. We'll be back next time that we're back. And
We'll be back next time that we're back.
Yeah. The next time we're back, we'll be back.
Yeah. Could be tomorrow, could be a month from now.
Who knows? Who knows? But we will be back.
Yeah.
And so will you.
Or else.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you all for coming here tonight and drinking all of my booze. No, really. Please leave. The party's over. Get out.